Hey guys, it's Rich Boy J here, back in with another video, and this is going to be the Vardos MOC build series, update number 9. It was kind of a crazy week, as I'm sure most of you know from the update I posted. I was away for the weekend at a funeral. My great-grandmother passed away. I want to say thanks to everyone who reached out with words of support. I really did appreciate it, so thank you guys for that. But now I'm back, kind of getting in the swing of things. I was hoping to have this video out yesterday, but I got a little sick, a little under the weather, but nevertheless, here it finally is, and I really do hope you guys appreciate some of the progress that I made. I feel like it's not going to look like a lot of progress to you guys, but I've been working on this thing so much lately. I honestly rewired the entire thing. I realized some of the connections were too loose, and I got a better system worked out, which means that the lights are going to be much more stable, which I guess on camera I hadn't really shown you guys to be an issue, but I was noticing it while working on it. Like sometimes I would sit something down on the platform and one of the lights would start flickering. So those are all problems that I got resolved, thankfully, and there are a lot more lights in this update. You guys are definitely going to see that, which is pretty exciting for me. I feel like I'm just getting out of control with these lights. Like everything I build, I'm thinking, okay, how can I add lights to this? Which I think will ultimately contribute to a really nice looking MOC, and I really do think that you guys are going to appreciate it. So before I do get into this video, I do want to say thanks to everyone who supported the MOC in the last live stream via Super Chat. Shout out to Screamin Seagull, Zandie Boi, and Jake Bosch. You guys donated via Super Chat, and I really appreciate it. Just to let you guys know, if you have heard of it before, of course, you're doing live streams on this channel where we're just hanging around, building Vardos, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to, 1, see a sneak peek of the MOC before the update, and 2, just hang out with a bunch of cool boyos, I definitely urge you to check out the live streams. It's a really great time, and honestly, one of my favorite parts of the week. So without further ado, let's jump right into the MOC, guys. One of the first things I did want to show you guys is that I have pretty much finished up the border going around the MOC with these little barricades and other various things that kind of line the edge of the MOC. In the game, the border just kind of stops, so there's no border on this side, which for Star Wars is honestly not that surprising considering their lack of an affinity for handrails, so I'm not surprised. I may have to do a little gag of some guy just walking straight off of this thing, or maybe having Vader throw Palpatine off of it. But you can see it kind of comes all the way back over to this side, and we got more of those barricades, which is pretty exciting. I bought a bunch of these, and then I realized, well, they don't need to go across the entire thing, so I'm imagining that I'll end up using that for something else. It's a good piece to have, but I am glad to finally have that part of the MOC done. And then also, I got these bad boys right here, and I got 999 of those dark bluish gray 2x2 tiles, and those are obviously what's lining the very edge where that border is not at. So was really excited to get those in. I was also able to finally clean up a lot of, there was some gaps in there where I just didn't have 2x2 tiles, so those are all finally finished up. And before I get to what I feel is the main attraction, I'll also show you guys that finished up a little staircase over here, so it's kind of hard to get around that. So yeah, this is the general idea behind this is give you guys kind of a pulled back view. There's going to be basically an elevated area right here. So there'll be, imagine a wall that comes all the way through here, up here, and then it'll curve around right there behind the tree, which means obviously you need stairs to get up there. So there's an entrance to that platform on this side as well as an entrance on that side. So glad to have both of those pretty much finished. I don't know, the stairs just look so cool. Problem is that they burn up so many tiles. I am buying so many tiles for this MOC. Hopefully that means I'll be set for life with dark gray tiles after this, though. I don't mind buying dark gray tiles. But yeah, you can see we got 2 staircases, and of course this is all leading up to the area I'm sure a lot of you are excited for, of course, the buildings. So I really do feel that we are on the verge of finally starting those buildings. I know I say that almost every episode, but I really do feel that we are close. And then moving on to this section, and this is the section I probably worked on the most, and I'm just so happy with the way that it came out. So right here, you can see that I'm not really sure what the function of these 2 things are, but they're on the map, so I added them. But you can see that there's LED lights in there, and then there's kind of the same thing over by where the tree is. Same little type of assembly. And then, of course, that's my Vardos tree. The Vardos trees are honestly really reminiscent of bonsai trees with light gray trunks and red leaves. So I opted to kind of design it this way using a lot of those hinge pieces. I think I'm pretty happy with the way the design came out. The only thing I'm not happy with is the fact that I don't have a lot of those like dark red leaf pieces, which I kind of have to use for the base, and then I cover it with the red petal pieces to make it look more of like that Vardos vibrant red. So I'm going to have to get a few more of those, and you can see I didn't even have enough pieces to even start that tree over there. But that's where it's going to be, so I can give you guys a pretty good idea at what these Vardos trees are going to look like. And this area of the MOC really does excite me, just because I feel that, for one, it's one of the first things I'm doing that's not strictly like part of some landing platform. But then also it is finally allowing me to add red to the MOC, which is obviously very important. Red is one of the main colors of Vardos, so it's nice to finally have that started up. But yeah, I'm really liking the way that area looks. And then finally, we got the big Vardos streetlight finally erected. It took me so long to figure out the wiring for this thing, just because that's 3 LEDs in there, and they all have to have their wires run all the way through to the bottom. I'm really learning a lot about wiring since I've done this MOC, but I'm glad that I've been able to figure things out for the most part, and it's really working out. So that is what I came up with for that design. It's nice to finally have this in the MOC. I think I showed it off maybe a few episodes ago, but I finally am in a position to add it to the MOC, which is very exciting. And then finally, I got some of these like standing lights finally wired in there. So you can see, got one of the TIE pilots standing next to it over there. And these are really just kind of scattered about the platform. I noticed in one area there were like 3 in a row, so that's kind of why I went for this design. And I may eventually add more. Just it's really going to depend where the Corvus ends up sitting and how much space that takes up. But I am glad to finally have some there. These are just little lights that you imagine, you know, if the Empire were to invade a planet, set up base, set up camp, they would need these kind of standing lights if it were a dark area to illuminate everything around them. So that's kind of what these are meant to be, and they're really bright, as I'm sure you can tell. And actually what I'm going to do next, I'm going to turn off the lights in here. I love how this is becoming like a recurring thing. I want to turn off the lights so you guys can view the MOC with its full like light viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and do that. And here we are back again with Vardos under the lights in the dark, and these standing lights just pop so much. Like, they are so bright, which is really great because I mean in the like actual level they're pretty bright lights. So I'm glad that that is consistent with this MOC, but they just, I don't know, they look really cool to me. It looks just so realistic to me. But yeah, man, I'm just so happy that this MOC has so many lights. It really, really is cool to be able to work stuff like that out. And then you can see, got that big Vardos light pole standing up there. That thing is really, really huge. I'm going to have to build quite a few of those for this MOC, so I'm glad I at least have one, and I know it works, and I'll be able to move forward and build more using that exact same design. So, yeah, that's really all I got for you guys for this week's update. Man, this thing is just so beautiful, like especially that area in there. It's really, really starting to fill in, which makes me really happy. So moving forward, I'm really thinking that the next thing I need to work on is getting this wall right here built up, so it'll come that way, then back across to the stairs on the other side, and then there will be a building right here, standing right here. So hopefully that can get started, and I'll have, if a lot of it, if not all of it, ready for you guys in this next week's update. But yeah, that's going to finish up the video, so let's go ahead and move to the end of the video. Alright guys, that's going to finish up the update this week. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. Like I always say, make sure you go ahead and post in the comment section what you think about it and just how you think this MOC is coming along altogether. I think that a lot of the smaller details are starting to be added to it. It's nice to finally have red in the MOC, since that's one of the characteristic colors of Vardos. And also, of course, let me know what you guys think about that tree design. I really do hope to get some more pieces to improve it a little bit moving forward, but I think what I came up with is a pretty good starting point, so I'm happy with that. And then moving forward, I feel like The me building the buildings, it's kind of like me building the wall at this point. Like I feel like there were like 4 straight episodes where I said I'm going to build the wall, and I just didn't get to it until like the 5th episode. But the building, I really am confident that I'll be able to start it moving forward for this next update. So obviously this update, I spent a considerable amount of time rewiring and doing the border and honestly just kind of designing that little area next to the stairs. But now that that's kind of done with, I can, you know, obviously start progressing to other parts of the MOC, which will obviously include the building. So I'm really not too concerned with the buildings just because I feel like the design isn't that intricate. I don't really need to buy any extra parts for it. I think that I'm going to be pretty good with getting those up. So I feel like once I start it, once I figure out a game plan for it, those will get built up pretty quickly, which is obviously very exciting. And I really just can't wait to progress even further on this MOC. So that's going to finish up the video, guys. Like I always say, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by smashing that like button. And then, of course, if you're not already subscribed, smash the subscribe button to support the channel. I'll see you guys again very soon.